Welcome back, everyone, and good afternoon. Good Sunday afternoon. Roby One returns with the Conspiracy Book by John Michael Greer. Return with the strict observance in 1754, as we left off in the last Conspiracy Book video, the Ancient Modern Schism, 1751, with mad Jacobite talk. Alright, so this character right here, definitely cagey. Some kind of debonair ladies guy, too. Some enlightened star patch. Baron Karl Gotthard von Hund. Perhaps, I presume. Baron Karl Gotthard von Hund, 1722 to 1776, was a man in a mission. In 1743, shortly after he was first initiated into Freemasonry, he went to Paris and there received from the Jacobite Earl of Kilmarnock and set off secret degrees that claimed to date from the original Knights Templar. For the next 11 years, he kept his vows of secrecy strictly. In 1754, though, he was called back to Paris and there received permission to make the Templar degrees public. On his return to Saxony, he launched a new order of Templar Masonry called the Rite of Strict Observance. For the next 20 years, the strict observance flourished in Central Europe, attracting members from other Masonic rites. Von Hund claimed that the strict observance was part of a much larger and more secret body, headed by Bonnie Prince Charlie, whose unknown superiors were prepared to pass on the secrets of alchemy and the location of the buried Templar treasures. These promises understandably attracted a great deal of interest, and they inspired the rise of the rival order, the Golden and Rosy Cross, with its own claims to possession of the alchemical secrets. Unfortunately for von Hund, the unknown superiors never followed through on their promises. He never seems to have realized that the entire structure of the Templar Masonry was born as a vehicle for Jacobite political ambitions, and the failure of the Jacobite cause to recover from the disaster of the Culloden meant for its efforts had no further value for the Stuarts and their allies. At the Convention of Williamsbad in 1782, 6 years after von Hund's death, the order dissolved and members went into a variety of other secret societies. See also the 1745, the Golden and Rosy Cross, 1755, the Convention of Williamsbad, 1782. All right, let's see what it says. We're on page 47, too. The degree of the compass on the Masons. Baron Karl Gotthard von Hund. In a contemporary painting, the strict observance established by Hund in 1754 enjoyed a fair amount of popularity initially, but the order eventually petered out by 1782. Hund died in 1776 and wrote to the meeting with the reigning Duke Frederick August, whom he hoped to convince to adopt a strict observance. It seems like that strict observance could have been a bait to whittle him out, perhaps. Alright, so we're on the Golden and Rosy Cross. Golden and Rosy Cross, page 49, in the Michael Greer Conspiracy Book. Mysterious Magnum, Stardom, Universal. the Tinctura Stars, Magister, Jesus Christ, Libe. Alright, before we go into it too much, let's just look at it. Alright, so let's dig in. The rise of the strict observance troubled European Freemasons of conservative leanings, who recognized its connections with the Jacobite movement and worried, with good reason, that the Jacobite experience might inspire attempts to overthrow other governments. The obvious response was a competing secret society, and Herman Fichtold, 1700 to 1777, a Freemason and occultist, duly founded one, since the strict observance had already stalked a claim to the Knights Templar. Fichtold's new order claimed the legacy of the legendary organization as romantic as the Templars, the original Rosicrucians. The Order of the Golden and Rosy Cross was an immediate success, not least because it offered its members an extensive study course in occultism and alchemy. Members had to pass an examination in the symbolism of each degree and in the substantial body of esoteric teachings before passing to the next degree. By the 1770s, the order had several thousand members throughout Central Europe, and in the following decade, it carried out a lively feud with the Bavarian Illuminati and a splinter group founded by some of its own ex-members of the Asiatic Brethren. In 1786, one of its members ascended the throne of the Prussia as King Frederick Wilhelm II, 1744 to 1797, and appointed several other leading members to high political office. For the next 10 years, the Golden and Rosy Cross was quite literally the power behind the throne of Prussia, the most powerful of the small kingdoms in which Germany was still divided. Frederick Wilhelm's death in 1797, though, robbed the order of its power base, and the cataclysm of Napoleonic Wars in the decades immediately after shattered what remained. The Rosicrucians, 1614, the strict observance, 1754, the Bavarian Illuminati, 1776. An image from Geheim Figuren der Rosicrucier, aus dem 610 and 710 Jahrhundert. Secret symbols of the Rosicrucians from the 16th and 17th centuries and 18th century document that had been reprinted countless times. Pretty interesting. All right. Now as we go into 1760, the Fraunces Tavern, New York, mud flutter, mansard roof. Okay. Conspiracy researchers have generally neglected the American Revolution, preferring to focus attention on more glamorous European events such as the French and Russian revolutions. This is ironic because it is well documented that the American Revolution was launched by at least two conspiracies, the Committees of Correspondence and the Sons of Liberty. The Committees of Correspondence began to organize themselves around 1760 in the interest of American colonists and the British government. Came more and more into conflict. Their members were drawn from leading citizens to the colonies, and they focused on circulating news and lobbying the government in London for reforms. As tensions rose and positions hardened, the Committees of Correspondence shifted the focus of their activities to the organizing campaigns of civil disobedience against the British government, and then preparing for the war that was certain to break out. Many of the leading members of the Committees of Correspondence were also Freemasons, While there was no evidence for any formal link between colonial Masonic lodges and the committees doubtless used Masonic connections to recruit members. In 1765, the committees in New York and Boston played a central role in helping to found the other major secret society of American Revolution, the Sons of Liberty. In 1773, as British troops flooded the colonies, the committees merged their operations with the legislators of the colonies, helping to found the Continental Congress in 1776. Many members of the Committees of Correspondence went to become members of the Continental Congress and played leading roles in the Revolution, while the committees themselves quietly dissolved. See also the Sons of Liberty, 1765. So let's see what this tavern, Francis Tavern, situated at 54 Pearl Street at the corner of Broad Street in Lower Manhattan. The tavern became a haven for a meeting place for the early 1760s for organizations such as the Committees of Correspondence, which played a central role in founding the Sons of Liberty, 1765. Little tidbits that give us a little more information as these secret societies jump and disappear and rise like the phoenix again. So this is page 51. Let's see what the next page is going to bring. 53, the Sons of Liberty will be next. Welcome back, and also I'm on with my day. Until the next one, we'll return. Roby 1, I'm out.